A breaking news alert out of Moorhead this morning. A yurt is damaged after a fire where flames were shooting 10 to 12 feet from the structure. Firefighters were called to the 1300 block of 12th Street South. That's about a block east of the Concordia football field. Authorities say the yurt was used for running a business behind the home.
Now, a yurt is a round canvas-covered structure historically used by nomadic groups. No injuries were reported, and the cause of that fire is still under investigation.
Storms made their mark through the Northern Valley, leaving behind damage like this. Check it out. Viewer John Brown sent us this picture after high winds shifted this Casey's convenience store canopy in Hillsborough, North Dakota.
And viewer Nancy Peterson snapped this photo right here of a massive tree that was uprooted in Golden Lake, North Dakota. And that's not the only thing toppled over by these winds. Docks, boats, even a jet ski were all tangled together in the aftermath on Golden Lake. Thanks to Barbie Syme for sending this picture in as well.
And some viewers are waking up to no power this morning. According to the tracker called poweroutage.us, at least 50 people are without power in North Dakota as of 4 this morning. That's between Ramsey and Steele counties. Xcel Energy is also reporting 23 people without power in Grand Forks.
As the valley starts to wake up, can we expect any weather events throughout the day? Well, let's send it on over to First Alert Storm Team meteorologist Lisa Green. Lisa, you said we had nasty weather coming. Sure enough, we got it.
Yeah, and we're still dealing with some strong storms out there this morning. Heavy rain, too, going to be a concern as we work our way through the day today. Here's a look outside at our Dakota Magic Casino Skycam. You can see we still have some rain coming down and the lights there. We're also looking at those flags, not as whipping around as we've seen recently. In fact, they switched direction, too. So fronts moved through there and looking at some changes coming up in the forecast. And we still, again, have stormy weather happening right now and continuing into the day today. Here's a look at your radar. As we look off to the east, you could see some stronger storms in our eastern viewing area. Basically, our counties in Minnesota will be the focus for that. Still getting rain in eastern North Dakota too, but you could see that we're clearing out a little bit more there as we continue on. Let's zoom in a little bit more. You can see this line here just now departing the Hubbard County area. That's looking a little more intense. That's just starting to move out of our viewing area. One storm that was a little stronger about an hour ago, continuing to produce lightning in eastern parts of Marshall counties. That moves off to the north and east. Maybe not as strong as it was. You could see the track on this potentially producing a little bit of small hail as it continues on. Now, moving to the south and east, you could see more widespread areas of moderate to heavy rainfall. A lot of lightning still with these storms that may be waking you up and rumbling around here in the parts of Becker County, especially eastern Becker County. A little downpour just now exiting Detroit Lakes along Highway 10 there. Southern parts of Hubbard County, Park Rapids, seeing some good lightning there as well. So still dealing with some rain, and it's falling over some of the same locations. And so we're looking at estimated rainfall from last night, indicating some heavy rain up in the Roseau and Kitson County areas, also north of Fargo, north and west into other parts of Cass County and Trail County too. And checking in on this particular area that the radar is estimating about 5 inches of rainfall. That might be a little high, but still we're looking at some heavy rain that came down there. And if you've got a report to pass along, we'd really appreciate hearing from you. It takes a while sometimes to get those in throughout the day, but we really appreciate those so we can share them through the morning. And looking at our flood advisories, they are in effect for some of those same areas where we saw that bullseye of heaviest rain. So this may continue to be an issue. We might see some more flood advisories issued here today as we continue to see the rain and thunder. Here's a look at our wind speeds and gusts. We're seeing some that are into the 20s, a gust to 35 in Sisseton, but overall not as strong as they've been. We've got some warm temperatures, 60s to some low 70s, 72 degrees right now in Fargo and 71 in Grand Forks. So that warmer air still sticking around. Here's a look at your hour-by-hour planner. Watching that rain and thunder start moving east with the front, but that boundary is going to hang around in our eastern viewing area through the day. So that means we can't quite rule out that chance for rain or a little bit of thunder until later. We'll see that clearing happening in the west first, and then in the east, there's the potential that we could see another resurgence of storm activity depending on where that boundary ends up being. We'll be right on the cutoff there. It'll be a short window, but the potential's still there that we want to watch out for. Then that clears. We're quieting down. The wind finally easing up as we're heading into the end of the weekend. Still a slightly breezy, but not like what we've seen. And you can see that severe storm risk looking a lot less here for today. And temperatures, check these out, back into the 70s after several days in the 90s. More on these storms in the forecast coming up in just a bit.
Sounds great. Thank you, Lisa. New information this morning on that missing Minnesota man with dementia that we first told you about yesterday on the Valley Today. A mother and daughter found him alive in their bean field more than 24 hours after he disappeared while riding his bike in Spicer, Minnesota. Sue Peterson and her daughter Leanna spotted what they first thought was a log, but then noticed that something was moving and realized it was 83-year-old Donald Wieberdink.
The retired nurse says that he was sunburned and dehydrated, but otherwise seemed okay. The sheriff's department had about 100 volunteer firefighters, 2 civil air patrol planes, and several hundred people from the area ready to start a large-scale search when they got word that he was found yesterday.
A federal judge says he will not waive North Dakota's ban on electronic signature gathering for a group attempting to get a wide-ranging measure on the November ballot. North Dakota voters first asked to allow online signature gathering because of the coronavirus pandemic.
The group argued that the COVID-19 outbreak creates an environment that is impossible to comply with the laws. In denying a motion for preliminary injunction, U.S. District Judge Peter Welty noted that the state did not issue a stay-at-home order, and Governor Doug Burgum on May 1st revoked nearly all the previously imposed pandemic-related restrictions.
Fargo's Human Rights Commission is making plans for a large group at its meeting later today. There are social distancing measures in place for public meetings, including a maximum of 40 members of the public in the commission chambers and 13 in the atrium.
You can also comment by phone by calling the City Planning Department before the meeting. The Fargo Human Rights Commission meets at noon in Fargo City Hall Commission chambers.
North Dakota Democrats want a special session. Just ahead here on the Valley Today, why COVID is pushing them to act fast to help people in the state.